Cheat and hold this here. They put the mask on our currency, guys, prior to this event. Can you see it? You see the mask on the $20 bill? You can?
Yeah.
You know they did the World Trade Center on the $20 bill too, right? It's a little weird world that we live in. Mask is on the $20 bill, guys. You see that?
Yeah.
Can you?
I've like read about it and stuff.
Have you read about the World Trade Center on the $20 bill too?
Yeah.
I can show you that if you have you seen it?
You can show me.
I'll show you. Will somebody hold this for 1 second?
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so here's the mask, right? This one, you guys saw it, right? Clearly?
Yeah.
Like the mask. All right, now you flip it over. It's like a magic trick almost. For your mind, that is. But you'll freaking see this stuff and start wondering. This all was printed prior to 9/11. But look, oh look. Doesn't that look like the buildings when they were on fire?
Wow.
Is that a coincidence, you think?
I don't know. I think so.
There's other scenes where the buildings are falling, and then when they're falling and they're empty on the $1 and on the $5. If you just go on YouTube, you can look those up.
Wow.
Now I know my little sign here is a little far-fetched for you, probably. I don't know if you guys have looked into it, but honestly, they lie to us about everything, my friends. I believe they do. Thank you. Yeah, my friend has that website, and the reason why I hand that out is that they are, like, whoever is doing these lies to us, like, they're putting out like misinformation, disinformation. So you have to be really careful about where you're finding information from. And that source, I know the people personally. I've hung out with them, and you know, for me, it's like a good starting point for you guys. Have you guys questioned anything before?
Yeah, definitely. I think like, well, it's just like, you know, the declassified like FBI files and stuff like that about like plans that they like. I'm trying to remember, but I read this thing and it was like these social experiments or something that like the FBI like.
Oh, MK Ultra, maybe?
Yeah, stuff like that, or like the LSD experimentation
Yeah.
that they're doing on people.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. I don't think they always have our best interest in mind, that's for sure.
Good for you, man. You guys are way more open-minded or aware than I was. But, you know, just keep in mind, well, not maybe keep in mind, but if you can do a little bit more digging, you literally learn that, like, you know, even our teachers, when you go to school, they're mostly regurgitating what they were given as a book to tell you and to pass on to you. So, you know, frequently they're not teaching us critical thinking skills, asking why, what, where, and really
it's
digging.
Just like the biases in like the school system and like what they teach and stuff. Like in elementary school and like the younger grades, you taught like, oh yeah, we like made friends with the Native Americans when we came here, and like we had Thanksgiving dinner with them and stuff. And it's like, no, we killed them all.
Yeah,
and stole their land. Like it's crazy how they like we're always painted as the good guys.
Yeah. So why do you think that they're why would they want to lie to like young minds, right? When we're just
like,
forming.
Why would they just tell us the truth?
Right.
Like, what's so wrong with that?
Do you guys know the United States is a corporation?
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, and that each town, like this town, and the court itself, the court system is incorporated. Well, when you incorporate a business, you're doing it because really, you're one of the main reasons is because it's for a profit, right?
Oh yeah.
So
everything's to make money.
So you know, if you get a ticket out on the road or something, is that now? Are they really looking out for our safety, or is that a stream of revenue? Have we become a stream of revenue to our own government? You guys know what government broken down means in, I guess, in Latin? No. Government. Govern, control, ment, mind. Control your mind. Whoa, did they teach you guys that in school?
Yeah,
no. No, they missed that one, huh?
Yeah.
So there's Eric. Have you guys heard of Eric Dubay?
No.
If I would beg you, if you really want to get a good starter course, like YouTube hides this stuff. They're literally they censored even like my channel. It's crazy. Like I have like a few thousand subscribers. Like who cares about me, right?
Yeah, they like shadow block.
Yeah, shadow ban. Eric Dubay though, he's a great source for maybe looking more into this, because the more you learn and the more you know, the more you're up on the deceit, the less you'll be, you know, they call us sheep for a reason, right?
Yeah.
We're trusting.
It's
We
just
want to trust.
interesting because it's like once the deceit starts, like where is the line and like what can you actually even believe? Like is anything true? Is everything wrong?
You guys are wearing masks. Why are you wearing masks?
Because COVID is real and there's no science behind your stupid theory.
All right. But for you guys, what reason do you think you're wearing the masks?
Masks are required.
They are like, is it like, well, now
To be out
let's see,
here.
here's where we go. So now they depend on our ignorance, which is not a bad thing, right? Ignorance is just not knowing something. But what they really, most of these mask things, although I have read that they're turning into laws somehow, I don't know how they can do that, but they call them mandates or codes, right? Well, codes, remember when I told you that the United States is a corporation? Think of it like this. If you go work for McDonald's, right? McDonald's has a set of rules that you have to abide by, right? Now, they could be more limiting than what our Constitution says because you're working for a private company, right? Well, now the same thing happens now when you are consider yourself a citizen of the United States, right? You're now actually contracting verbally, and you're giving your approval to the United States corporation abiding by that the corporate rules, not your constitutional natural born rights, their own set of little freaking whatever stupid crazy rules they want to give you, including wearing the silly masks that you guys are all wearing. Because you know what, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but when you think about it, it's a freaking crazy world we live in where you see people walking around outside. There's numbers of doctors who say on YouTube who are saying that these things could be dangerous. Not only they could be dangerous, you're breathing in your own freaking carbon dioxide, right? I mean, or whatever it is that we exhale.
Like wearing masks, especially like in public and stuff, like this is not really anything new. Like people have done, it's pretty common, like to see, I would say before this, to see people with masks on airplanes and like in other public places about people who like are sick and are trying not to get other people sick, or like are trying not to get sick on airplanes and stuff like that. So I don't really think it's like that crazy or like unusual that you
But who's to say that they just don't, that they're ignorant to the fact that these things are dangerous? I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not. But what I'm saying is that why are we not listening to, I mean, hundreds of doctors now on YouTube who are trying to get the word out, right, that these masks can be dangerous to your health. Why is their opinion of the mask lesser than other doctors, maybe who are promoting this on mainstream media? And I mean, if we didn't watch television, guys, right? If we didn't watch TV, how the heck would you be wearing a mask right this moment? Hey, my brother.
Yeah, probably. Like, there's like huge, like wearing a mask is like, it's not just something that's like shown on TV. Like, I would say that's a pretty like reliable and safe thing to do. Just
Why?
to keep
You should
other
probably wear a
people.
mask just because it's nasty outside.
Yeah, the air is like really bad. Like if you're
Air
really,
is bad for us now?
If you're really worried,
What air is bad? This air right here is bad? I would be better off in my air-conditioned house, you think? In the air, you think? You think?
but I'm just saying, like if you're that
I'm not arguing,
worried-
by the way, I'm just asking you.
Oh no,
Yeah.
like I just want to have like a dialogue,
Yeah,
conversation
super.
with you. I think it's interesting to like hear like other people's points of views and stuff like that. And
That's
just to
awesome.
Listen. But yeah, I think if you're like really worried about inhaling like your own carbon dioxide, I think like climate change is probably a good place to start because
Climate change? What's climate change?
well, you know, the Earth is getting hotter.
It is?
Carbon.
How do we know the Earth is getting hotter?
The ice is melting. The ice is melting. The water
What
rises.
ice?
The water rises from both poles.
What ice?
Dude, you know.
I'm asking. I'm just asking. Well, I don't even see the ice.
North.
What, the
north
ice
and
in her
south
glass?
poles. The north and south poles, they're melting.
Yeah.
There's a city under the poles. They're melting, and they
Okay.
can see shit
Okay.
under the like ice.
And
It's
that
actually
proves climate change?
I would say,
think?
I'd say it's a
like,
pretty
just,
good indicator.
It's just the radiation gets trapped in the atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
It couldn't be
So it
anything
bounces
else. It
back.
maybe there's giant seasons, right? Like a longer. You know how we have fall, spring, and summer on an annual basis? Could it be possible that the Earth goes through seasons every 5,000 years or 10,000? Right?
Well, in a
Is that?
way,
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. Is that possible? And then like so we're going through a momentary of the summer. Maybe we're entering a summer season on the long scale, right? And now all of a sudden it's climate change, but really it's just another season of the world.
Well, there's
Could it
not
be?
really,
I don't know. Maybe.
any other records of the world getting hotter like this, or like
And also
there is.
hurricanes and
Records?
fires.
Yeah,
But
there's
how long have we recorded things, man? Do you think? How many millions of years?
not too long, but like
Not
it's
even
pretty.
a million
Really? So how will we really know the long term?
Well, you can
guess
use
we
stuff
don't.
like carbon dating.
See, guys, I'm not. I'm
and,
just playing games. It's like
Oh,
you see
yeah,
what I'm saying?
no.
Like, if you
It's
start
interesting to
digging
think
into
about.
why we believe, like, oh well, climate change. Well, you know, doctors or not doctors, these scientists have all looked into it and they know. Right. The same scientists whose budgets for determining and finding scientific information out are dependent upon them producing some material.
It's just radiation from the sun gets trapped in the atmosphere and bounces back down, so the ice melts faster. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Okay. No, sure. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just wondering if that excludes possibly other scenarios. Do you think that it does?
Like what? So you
like
don't
I
believe
said-
in climate change?
Well, no, I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I have no specific like
I just
to
think
consider
climate
that
change
a
is
small
real.
sample period. And I mean, a small sample period. What is small, right? What is a small sample period? Is it a week? Is it a year? Is it 100 years? 1,000 years? 50,000 years? 1,000,000 years? I don't know. So now we're making a determination, and we don't even know. We can't even define what small is, can we? And whether that's realistic in determining.
Yeah, that's definitely like an important thing to consider, especially like when you're analyzing statistics and like biases in statistics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is like the sample size is a huge indicator of whether some certain statistics have a bias or not. So like,
Do masks
That's
make it? Wait,
valid.
all right. Let me ask you guys regarding the masks. When you guys are home or hanging out together with your friends, do you wear the mask like religiously?
Make sure my friends are sick, first of all.
You do? All of you do? You never
mean,
take your masks off?
I
Air
don't.
is circulated.
I don't.
I take my friends.
Excuse me?
The air is probably circulated, so it probably doesn't really matter. If
Yeah.
I got a question for you about the other side of your sign, real quick.
Yeah.
Earth is flat one.
Yes.
Yeah. How much do you know about physics?
How much do I know about physics?
Yeah. Because I got some really bad news for you about
Yeah.
that whole theory.
Yeah.
If you take a basic physics course, you understand why the Earth is actually round.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I appreciate it.
So, yeah, you might want to
Yeah.
look that up a little bit.
Can you wait? Let me just. Are you? I guess you believe in general relativity, right?
General relativity, you mean Einstein's theory of relativity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, guys. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, I know.
Can you work that all out and explain that to me thoroughly? 'Cause I'm interested.
Theory of relativity? No, I can't because I'm not that smart. But I'm smart enough to know that
But wait, isn't kind of gravity based off of general relativity? I mean,
gravity is a fundamental force of the universe.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent 6 hours with my astronomy professor talking about how gravity distorts time and space, my dude.
How it distorts time and space?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Why do you think when they approach a black hole, or at least according to the simulation, according to the simulated
Simulation.
theories,
What is a black hole?
black hole is a condensed object in space that happens when a star
I've never seen one. Have you
detonates.
seen one?
No, they've got photographs of them though,
They do.
or radiographs.
Radiographs.
Yeah. See, what you don't understand is that things in space send out signals that we pick up with the satellites and telescopes. Those signals are then converted into essentially images, and that's how we learn about
And
this
you
stuff.
so you've checked all the equipment out that does all this, and you know for a fact what it's measuring is.
I don't need to,
Why don't you?
because I don't get paid for that shit. First of all, second of all, I know for a fact that scientists are much less likely to lie to me than politicians and random dudes on the street
Why
with
do
a
you
video
think that?
camera.
Why do you think that? You think scientists
Because
don't
we
lie?
can test science, we can't test politicians. We can't test politics. Politics are basically just what happens when you let some idiot.
I'm just trying to understand. So once science comes to a conclusion, it becomes fact.
No, that's when it becomes a theory.
Okay.
And a theory can either be tested,
Right.
or it can be disputed.
Okay.
If you test a theory and it comes true, then it's being proven.
Right.
If you test it and it's disputed, well, then you've got a different experiment to run.
Okay.
And thus research continues.
Okay.
Now, if something is a law like gravity,
But how would you physically test a black hole? You're telling me there's instruments that do it, right? But I mean, it's not like anything that's physical in terms of what we can
have
measure.
you ever seen the instruments?
No.
Then how do you know that they don't?
I don't. I'm asking how you can be so sure that they do. That's all.
Simple. Because they test them. for
test
years.
on
the
what?
Hubble
Like, is there
telescope has been
is there
up there for
is there a
fucking
s-
50 years, my dude.
Is there like a standardized black hole that they can test this against, so they know one black hole that certainly is one, and then they can then they use it against all the
No,
others?
it's about patterns.
Okay,
You recognize a pattern in events.
a pattern,
You recognize frequencies.
right?
You go, hey.
There's no way that
You go, hey.
Right.
This object at this coordinate makes a different signal
Yep.
than this one over here.
right.
What's going on with this one?
Yep.
You ever heard of redshift, blueshift?
I've heard of it. Sure.
You know what it is?
I'm not.
Pitch me.
Honestly, I'm not exactly up on it, but I think it has something possibly do with light waves over a certain distance, possibly where you're capturing
You're on the right track.
the difference in
There you go.
in what is it called? I can't recall. But anyway, that's my, I have a rough understanding.
But
Very
that's
rough.
how they know that the universe is expanding. An object in a certain point in the sky.
Check this out, man. Check this out. I'm not trying. I don't. Listen. I could very well be wrong about everything that I think. 100%, right?
You're certainly wrong about one thing.
There's two things that I think are kind of interesting quotes that I like. One is, have you ever heard the one about there's Buddha and the guy wants to sit. He sits down with a Buddha and he wants to learn and gain understanding and wisdom. And he goes, well, fine, if you want to have knowledge and you want to increase your knowledge, he goes, I have this tea kettle of knowledge, and there's 2 teacups, right, sitting in front of them. And so the Buddha takes the tea kettle of knowledge, and he starts to pour knowledge into the other man's teacup, and it starts overflowing everywhere, right? And the guy's like, whoa, what the hell are you doing, man? You're overflowing all my knowledge, right? And so the Buddha puts down the tea kettle and goes, well, listen, he goes, before you can truly learn any new knowledge, he goes, you have to empty your cup of everything you think you know, empty it all, and like start from scratch. So there's
So you're
one.
starting from scratch with the Earth is flat.
No, man, what I'm saying, dude, I used to think I lived on a spinning ball like everybody else here walking around, right? Or most people. Because I bumped
So,
into 4 or 5 people just today.
You think that the sun revolves around the Earth as well?
I think it revolves above our heads, yeah, on its own locomotion and not due to some thing called gravity. Yeah,
Right.
that's what I think. Now, listen, as far as how that does that, I don't, I'm not going to tell you and make a lie that I have any clue. I don't know. But I like the things that I do know is that, uncontained water, right? Uncontained water will, well, there's a great saying, but basically, right.
Uncontained water assumes the shape of any container that it fills.
Right, and we'll seek and find its level, right? And it'll seek and find its level.
Right.
So,
So how do you explain sea levels rising?
sea level?
Yeah. How do you explain sea levels?
Well, I think that like generally across the entire, there is one sea level across the entire plane that we live on, right?
Okay.
And it kind of, that's what we experience in our lives. You fill up a swimming pool, it's flat, and like you go to a lake on a perfectly still day, and like people will say it looks like a mirror, right? And I'm talking a lake from miles and miles away. Like you could look down on it and you'll see reflections, and they looks like it was a mirror. That's actually how they make mirrors, is by laying down liquid and then floating this substance on it, and then it turns into a hardened surface. That's literally how we make mirrors.
Yeah.
Now, real quick,
It's a silver compound.
the interesting thing too is that like people have done experiments, man, where we can see further than we should be able to see. There's a formula, you can look it up for Earth's curvature. It's 8 inches per mile squared, and that will define a curve up to a quarter of the Earth until you go into negative numbers. Supposedly, I'm not great at math, but you use that on just on a small. Let me just give you an example. Imagine a 2-mile stretch, and that we have a 2 feet tall clear tube. You fill it halfway with water, 1 foot of water, right? 2 miles long, over a distance of 2 miles, using the Earth's curves formula, you'd have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 8 is 32 inches of expected curvature. That's total curvature. So you really take, I think 16 inches would be in the middle, would be the hump. So in order to believe that we live on a ball, right? You take that clear tube, 2 miles long, few feet high, filled halfway with water. There has to be a 16-inch hump in the middle of this resting water. It's resting, right? It's a body of water. And it has to taper down to each end of those tubes. That's absolutely what you have to believe, right? You disagree?
Yeah, I think there's probably something wrong with either the formula there or your method of explaining it. The Earth is 24,000 miles in circumference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you explain time zone differences? How do you explain
there is a
fly from California
Yeah.
to, we'll say, Morocco?
Yep.
How do you explain the time difference? How do you explain the fact that if it's noon in California, it's say
those
I don't
all
know, 8
those all
p.m.?
are explainable, my friend, and it's crazy. But what I really appreciate is like you're even actually the way you're asking him. It's not being. I mean, it's a little pointed and maybe a little being condescending to me, but it seems
Yeah,
like you
I
generally
kinda think you're a little bit of an idiot.
right. But it seems like you generally were saying like in asking me, well, how would you do those things? Like
You're asking us how we know that we live on a
Yeah.
spinning ball of Earth. I'm telling you right now that
Yeah.
there is more research to support that argument
Yeah.
than there is about a flat Earth.
Okay.
Because here's my question for you:
Yeah.
if you don't believe that gravity is a fundamental force,
Yeah.
then how do you explain? Even, let's assume right now that we are on a flat surface,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm standing on a flat surface
Yeah.
that goes untold thousands of miles in that
yeah,
way,
yeah,
that way,
yeah.
that way, that way.
100%. Yeah.
If gravity is not a fundamental force of the universe,
Yeah.
then how come when I pour my water, it
Right.
falls?
How about gravity and density? How about density and buoyancy? Possibly.
Density and what?
Buoyancy.
How does
Density-
buoyancy work here?
Well, density would be working right here, right? So
Right.
you have air,
But
right?
how
Air
does
is actually has a
how
certain
is
level.
how does density
Right.
factor into anything if there is no gravity? Do you know
if
what
you have-
gravity actually is in terms of
I don't-
units, in terms of how
Well,
it is measured?
Well, when it comes to what gravity is, as Neil deGrasse Tyson has literally said, you're not a big fan of him. We can both agree on that.
Listen,
That's so I can agree with
He
you
used
on
to be somebody to look
Yeah,
up
now
to.
he's a clown.
Now he's kind of gotten a little bit
Yeah.
off the deep end.
Yeah. So he literally says, he goes, when it comes to what gravity is, he's like, we don't know. But like we're saying that it's a force, right? So is that really defining what it is, or is it really telling us what it does?
Let me tell you something that my astronomy teacher told me. The same one that I spent 6 hours with discussing theoretical facets of
come
my
in
travel.
shade with you though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My astronomy teacher said a theory is the highest point of scientific study because
Yeah.
once you hit the theory level,
Yeah.
once something is defined as a theory,
Okay.
you cannot say that it doesn't exist. You have information for years of study to show that whatever you are describing as a theory
Uh-huh.
exists in some form. It has an effect on the world around us. And that is why you cannot say that a theory does not exist.
Dude, my brain
you're gonna
blow my brain up
prove it-
right now, man. That's super
You can
deep.
either prove it,
Yeah.
or you can question it. You can dispute it, but you cannot
Let's-
say that it does not exist.
let's back up
you can
for one
only
second.
Say it doesn't
Let's
work
back
the
up.
way that you think it does.
For one moment, let's just back up because
Okay.
you said it right away. You said when we were chatting about whether or not the Earth could be flat versus a ball. You said, well, I know I've already looked into it and I know we live on a ball. My question is how thoroughly have you investigated that the Earth possibly could not
Because
be
I
a ball?
studied astronomy for 2 years.
No, that I'm saying the evidence supporting that we actually do live on a flat plane.
Have you ever seen the footage from the ISS?
Yeah.
You can see the curvature of the Earth from that.
Wait, check this
level.
out. I've seen Superman on TV flying across the screen, and it looks freaking real, dude. I'm telling you, could be a man in a cape flying around, right? That's my point. But hold on, real quick, regarding.
So you're saying we need to send you with your video camera
no,
up into
no.
space?
All I'm saying is there's a great saying, and I apply this to me for all 44 freaking years prior to me coming out here and doing this stuff. And it says there's a principle that will keep a man in everlasting ignorance, and that principle, and there's a proof against all evidence all evidence against it, and that is condemnation before investigation, right? So when we are that's why I told you the tea kettle thing. When we're so sure of what we know and what we know to be true, that we have already excluded any other possibilities, your mind becomes a freaking prison, man, and.
You know what the beautiful thing about growth is? Your teacup grows with you.
Excuse me?
Your teacup grows with you. It is not a literal teacup that is static and unchanging. We're talking.
But does it grow if you don't allow it?
If we're talking in metaphors, your teacup grows with you as you grow.
I know a lot of people, bro.
Your level.
I know a lot of people who haven't grown, whose teacup hasn't grown. I was one of them.
Nah.
For 44 years of my life, bro, my teacup was full of shit. Is what it was full of, too.
Right.
And it was depressing. And now, I'm not saying that. Well, I am saying the Earth is flat, right? But I really should put a qualifier in there. I think, or I'm pretty sure, because I have to be open that I'm wrong again in some aspect of it, and that's very possible. Has to be.
Here's an idea for you.
It's wrong about all the other stuff.
All right.
Yep.
So here's a challenge for you.
Yep.
At some point, And I don't care how long this takes. I'm assuming you're going to upload this to Facebook or
YouTube, Zoom Truth, and I hope we stay in touch, man. I enjoy the
Here's my
conversation.
challenge for you.
Yep.
I will, without a doubt, unequivocally
Yep.
say that I was wrong, and I would give you every fucking dollar in my.
I don't want money, man. I just want truth.
If
Yeah.
you were able to show me that the Earth is flat, if you
Yeah.
recorded every mile of your journey across the
No,
Earth, and
no.
you didn't fall off.
Oh,
the
right,
edge,
right, yeah.
You couldn't get there though. You wouldn't be able to travel through the whole journey of the Earth.
Why not? We have boats, we have planes, we have
But
cars.
what bars us from getting to the edge of the Earth?
If there
Tell
is
me,
age.
you're the one
Called the
pitching that the Earth is flat.
Antarctic Treaty. Why is that established? By tons of nations across the world. Why was that established? What are they hiding in Antarctica that we are not able to go on a private mission? What are they hiding there?
It's weird, man.
You think that they're hiding shit in Antarctica?
Well, we.
Not
You really think that they're hiding
There's
shit in
something they-
Antarctica? You think that the fucking elder
Well,
things
check
from
this
H.P.
out.
Lovecraft
So check this out.
Mountains are
You
gonna
laugh, but you
fucking-
can't give me the reason why the Antarctic Treaty is there. So
59
ignorance
countries, I think
there
it is.
shows that you have no idea why it's set up, but you're trying to laugh at my stance
Antarctic.
because I've seen
You
why.
ever seen Anthony Bourdain?
Yes. Why was he killed off?
He wasn't killed off.
Okay, well, there's
Maybe
my-
he wasn't,
So
right?
let's go ahead. Let's go back to the Antarctic
Might
Treaty.
have been
What was it established for?
I don't know that because history
Okay.
wasn't my strong suit.
So
you
there's
tell me,
so
what was
there
it
right there
established
is the indoctrination that you've had for
No,
so
what was
long.
the
that
Antarctic Treaty established
The Antarctic
for?
Treaty established for, I believe it. You might be able to correct me. 78 nations across the world.
Yeah, I think it's 59, but yeah, I
59,
think something
78.
like that, whatever it is, and it was done in like the 1950s, late 1950s, right when they started doing space exploration.
Right.
And
But
Project
How convenient.
Hydro.
Oh,
Project,
yeah.
So
why?
Project Hydro.
What was their argument?
Because their argument
What
is
did
that
they say
they
it was
know what is beyond or what is at least bordering
That's fucking
the
bullshit.
outside.
I can tell you that much.
How do you know for sure though? This is where the
Because that's
complication
not an
comes
argument.
in.
That's your
Dude, let me ask you
argument.
this. Let's start over another
So
thing.
let me no.
Are we
We're
even free in
sticking
the United
on the
States?
Antarctic
You know, let's
Treaty.
start at
Don't
base level.
fucking don't
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
change
All right,
it
I'm
back
sorry.
on me.
I'm sorry.
Let's stick on the Antarctic
Yeah,
Treaty
yeah,
because
yeah.
now you're piquing my interest.
Yeah.
You want me to open up my teacup from further knowledge. You're piquing my interest about this Antarctic Treaty.
All right, I'm sorry. I
What
don't
was
wanna
the
take-
actual legal or not legal? We're saying. What is the official declaration and the official reasoning for the Antarctic Treaty?
Is because other countries, governments needed to do more exploration there. So what is
But
there
why
that
would they
we can't
explore?
go?
Did they say?
Exactly. No.
Did they say?
No. See, this is where you're so sure of it being such a sphere that you need to do the research because we've looked into it to see why
thank you.
it is there. We've looked into it to come to our conclusion to say it's there because it borders, and that's why we're not allowed to look past it. But you're so sure on it, and you don't even know what it's about.
You know why I'm sure that it's not the edge of the Earth?
You're
trust
not
government?
sure because you don't even know what was set in place for us to not explore it. So you're not sure.
Have fucking
You've
satellite
convinced
photography.
yourself with satellite photography. Have you seen CGI? I mean, goodness, he mentioned,
Yeah, you
mentioned
can
Superman.
tell when. I can tell when CGI is fucking bad. Though.
You can
and
tell.
trust me.
I get it. Yeah. You can tell.
can't
Thank you.
Come on. Seriously, you watch the space movies with, I mean, even from like 10 years ago,
Yes.
you watch a space movie, you're like, I mean, if you didn't know better, you'd be like, dude's
Wow.
in space, man. He's
Dude's in
floating.
space. Look, Elon
in
sent a
fact,
car up there
in the
and it's still
movies, they
floating
even
around.
put the stars
Yeah,
in
and you know how
the
we know-
movies. They
yeah,
put stars
and
in
you say
them.
that.
Yep.
How do you know that's not CGI?
I think it is.
Okay.
I've convinced myself through my research, and what I've come to my conclusion is that I think it is.
Cool.
That's why Elon can go out and say, it looks, what's he say?
Looks so fake, it's real.
real.
It has to be
Yeah.
real.
Landing was fake.
I didn't say
Moonland,
that.
hell yeah. It's
I
funny,
didn't say that, but
I-
I've come to my own conclusion
yeah,
that
yeah.
I think it is.
yeah,
Cool.
Sorry.
So,
No, yeah, you're good.
Kind of has to be.
since I'm running out of time because I got to get back and feed my dogs, I'm gonna leave it off of this. You're a fucking asshole. You're fucking insane. Although you are interesting and you're nicer
He's
than
not
he
an
is.
asshole, man. He's just, we just have
But
different ways of
also-
delivering what our truth is.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right? You?
It's not easy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you
So
headed?
Admiral Byrd, Operation High Jump, and the Antarctic Treaty.
Corona.
But see, this is where it goes. I had a
Hey, man,
nice
good chatting with you. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
I have an easy conversation, and it conflicts the indoctrination, and I get called an asshole from it.
Oh yeah, man. Of course.
It's an interesting.
No, one thing that I would say, man, is that I'm trying to fine tune my interactions with like zombies. No, I'm just kidding.
true.
But with people, right? And you know, Socratic method. I think that might be because You know, it's like he said, you're not an, like, I'm literally trying it today, where, oh, so black holes, he was telling me about, so what is a black hole, right? And then, so tell me, you know, well, how do we know it's a black hole? Well, he goes, well, the instrument tells us. I said, well, how do we know the instrument works? And he goes, well, I don't need to know that. He goes, the science, you know what I mean? And you, so you're able to get them to, lead them maybe to a path in their own thinking where they're going to have to, now he has to deny his own assumption, right? But he's doing it to himself.
Yeah. I think he pissed himself off when he started laughing like a fool.
That might have done it too.
But
hey
anyways,
man, dude, I'm Dave, man. If you ever want to come out and join me out here one time, because you're awesome, dude. And like honestly, I was like, I was getting chills listening to you. My YouTube channel is Zoom Truth. I can, if you want. You're by the way, you're about 5th person I've met today who's a flat earther.
I love it.
At least 5. And this has been my greatest day ever. And then I got one other person's number too. But can I give you my? I don't need to take it because I don't want to be intrusive to your privacy or anything.
Can I see the card?
Yeah, that's not my website. That's just like I don't know if you know Flat Earth 101, but yeah, I use them. But I can give you my information if you want, and then you can decide whether you want to contact me.
That works. Let's
okay,
do that.
super. Because I could be a government agent, right? No, I'm just kidding around.
They'll watch me right there.
David. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see.
Dave, and then my number. Oh man, my home number. I'm gonna give you my home. Do you mind? 609-223-9206. I don't even know my freaking cell. And then my YouTube channel is Zoom Truth.
Zoom Truth.
Just in case, and if you ever want to message me there, just in case I don't
do that for sure. Zoom Truth.
Yep. Zoom. 2 words. Zoom and Truth.
Perfect.
Yep. And I'm Dave, and you're
Anthony.
Anthony.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you. Thanks
for giving me the support there. I really do appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
It was nice meeting you
Talk to you
too.
soon.
Thanks, guys.
I want to get your picture.
Hey, man. How are you?
I want to get your picture.
Okay, sure. Oh, wait, yeah. Hold on. I'll get it.
I got a buddy of mine,
Yeah.
one of my cigar buddies.
Yeah.
Former Army Ranger.
Yeah.
And this guy's no joke.
Yeah.
right?
He's hardcore.
He believes it.
He believes it or he knows it, right? Who knows, right? We don't know.
Yeah, we won't get into that discussion because I don't give a shit one way or the other.
You don't? Come on. It's a little print. I mean, if the Earth truly is flat, you wouldn't really be like, wow, that's amazing.
It's all up there, brother. It's all up there,
Well, you know
brother.
what?
That's all
There
I
you
care
have a
about.
point. You got me beat on that one.
It's all up there. I don't give a shit. We've had the discussion, but I want your picture.
If your buddy, if you ever tell him, Zoom Truth is my YouTube channel, if he ever wants to get in touch with me, man, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. So, today's a very good day today. Everybody see the mask on our $20 bill? You want to see it? Okay, I can show you. All you do is you flip it upside down. Can you see it?
What am I looking for?
You're looking for the mask that they put. You see the mask that it looks like he's wearing? Look where in the middle of his nose, right?
Oh,
you see the mask on it?
Yeah.
You know that there's also the World Trade Center, right? On our $20 bill, it collapsing. Did you know that?
No.
If I fold it a different way, are you ready for this? It's crazy shit, man. And by the way, it's not only on our 20, it's on our 5, our 10, different scenes of the World Trade Center collapse. I'm doing it the wrong way, sir. Can you hold that for 1 second? Yeah, sure. Thanks, man.
And then after
Sorry. This is kind of interesting, right? Remember the famous, from a view from afar. Yeah. One's higher than the other, smoke coming out. You think that could be a coincidence? Two things on one piece of currency, man?
Because they have updated the 20 bill. It's not like the same 20 bill from 30 years ago.
No, this is the same $20 bill from 30 freaking years ago. Look
There's
it up,
an
bro.
older one, but
No, I'm telling you, I'm not making this shit up. This was done all of the currency, well before 9/11. The dollar.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but
Yeah, they put mask, guys. They have the mask on our $20 bill. I don't know if you're aware of that one too. I just showed him. There's a mask on there, right? Do you agree? There is a mask on our $20 bill, Frick.
I gotta get going, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting. And there's the World Trade Center collapsing on our $20 bill. These things were made prior to the World Trade Center. I have cards if you guys want to look into this some more. No, don't believe me, man. Of course not. YouTube hides this stuff. Belief is the enemy of truth, I think.
Then I won't believe it.
That's funny. Show it to you. On our currency, this was made prior to this whole pandemic? Do you see where his eyes are? Do you see on the side, the corner? Can you see the mask? You see it? It's on there. The World Trade Center falling. These dollar bills were printed before 2001. The same bill, and you can see a scene of the World Trade Center falling on the up. I could fold it for you if you wanted to see the other one. It's pretty crazy. Did you guys see that?
That's scary.
They have them. Can you see the mask that all you do is you put the $20 bill upside down in half, and can you see the corner of the mask over here? Here's his nose, and if you see it, can you hold this? I'll just for a second. I'll just show you. No, you don't have to video. I'm just like right here would be his nose, and then you see how like this corner of the mask right on the corner here goes down and around.
Not being myself, I'm not fully.
The World Trade Center's on here too. The collapse.
Yeah, it's everything is strange.
Excuse me?
Strange, completely.
Oh, you've looked at this stuff?
Kinda, sometimes.
Yeah, it's a weird world we live in, right? All right, man. Thank you. I don't think he understood a word I said. Oh. Am I all right where I have my stuff? Yeah? Everything's good? Okay.
Hey man, this is absolutely true.
Excuse me?
This is absolutely true. The planet is flat.
Oh, you're with me on that?
Yes.
Oh wow. I have a.
Yes, it's true.
On my channel, Zoom Truth. Here's a card, but that's not my website. But good to hear it, man.
I know the planet is flat.
You know they lie.
For intuition.
Oh, from intuition, you knew it?
Yes.
How long do you think?
For intuition and the proof.
Yeah. No, I mean like, how long? How many years do you think you felt that way?
2 years, 1 year.
Very cool, man. Good for you. Yeah, I feel like there's enough evidence then to.
And many people made the proof the laser, the one cost, other cost.
Yeah.
And the curve no can see.
Yep. Nothing.
No interpretation.
We can see too far, right?
Yes.
There's so much, but most people are going to.
I'm painting here every Saturday.
Oh, are you really?
Is
Cool.
Is your first time here?
Excuse me?
Is your first time here?
This is my second. I went out here last weekend. I was over on the other side, but it was so sunny that I was like, it's too hot over there.
You from here, Sarasota?
I just moved from New Jersey. I came out here. Am I in any of your space here? Is this okay where I'm at?
It's okay.
It's good? Okay.
I'm painting here.
Cool. All right, I'll check you out in a little bit. I'm going to hang out in that corner where it's a little busier. It's warming up out here. I got a few people checking out the Bible verses.
Yeah, let Billy.
Hey, you know what? I was an atheist prior to learning about the flat earth, and then I became born again.
Do you know how many people have studied the Bible that are atheists?
Yeah.
Okay? And they said, I'm going to check the historical context of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove it wrong. They all turn out to be Christians.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody that said, I'm going to study this and see if it's fake.
Yeah.
It end up not being a Christian.
I could see how that could happen too, because I was just an atheist who knew better, and I never really read it. So how did I know?
More science, the more archaeology, the more it points to it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
It points to the truth.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Billy know.
Oh, Zoom Truth. 2 words. That's pretty easy to remember,
I'm going
right?
to let Billy know.
Cool, man. I hope I hear from him.
Brother. He's a hoot.
Yeah.
One of my cigar buddies, please. It's flat. Billy.